Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to code sets in Python. So first of all, how can you create a set? It is very similar to how you create a list in Python. You select a name, in this case, it's my_set, open the curly brackets, and write all the values that you may want to in your set, and then you close the curly brackets. So here, this is a set. So we have given some values here. Let's see how it's represented under the hood. So we click here and run this cell, and you will see what are the elements of the set on the screen. So do you see any difference between these two presentations? Yes, whatever the order we gave for our values initially, so we started with letters A, B, C, this set basically ignored that and sorted everything. So it has first integers 1, 2, 4, and then it has characters sorted. So this basically represents the unordered nature of sets. In a list, this wouldn't happen. So let's create another set. Let's run this. And now you can see that while initially we are creating this set, we give multiple 2's as data values. But once the set is created, it only shows, let's run this one, 1, 2. So basically, these are the two characteristics of this set. It's first of all unordered. And second of all, it's always unique in terms of its values. So this is how you can create a set from a list. You see the list here, my_list, and run this, and you see my set from list is equal to, you will use the set function to create a list. If you create a set from this list, you will see that first of all, the set has ignored the order of the list, and also it has removed the duplicated elements. So let's run this. And you will see it has 1, 2, A and B. Similarly, you can create a set from a tuple. Here, my tuple, and then you can run this. And when you run the set, you'll see it again contains 1, 2, A and B. Now, the next topic is adding elements to a set. Adding an element to a set is straightforward. You can just use the add function. So let's see first my set, and we want to add letter O. So we are going to use my_set, which is our set, dot add, and then in the parentheses, we will include the element we want to add. And now let's run our set, and you will see that the letter O is added to the set. And as you see in this example, letter O is added at the end of the set. Let's do an experiment. Let's add, instead of adding O, let's add the letter F. So we will type here F, and then we run the cell. And we will run my set. Let's see what happens. So we know that this is our set before we add letter F. And after we add letter F, this is what we have. And did you see a pattern here? So instead of putting F into the last block as a list would have done, it has put F in its exact place, which is basically after E and before O. So this is how a set essentially is different from a list. Here, it doesn't care about the order, but rather it sorts everything and makes sure that things go in the right place. So let's see, suppose I want to add another F. So I'm going to run this cell again. And let's see what happens to our set. And nothing has changed. That's because you can't add the duplicate elements to a set. So the next topic that we need to cover is how you can delete an element from a set. We have two methods here. First of all, you can use the discard function. And the second is you can use the remove function. So here we have this set, my set. Let's run this. And we want to remove or discard letter A. So let's run this column and then see what happens. So as you see, no longer we have letter A in the set. Now I want to discard this time letter X. So let's run it. And nothing will be changed because the letter X is not in the set. And the code doesn't give any error, as you see here. But if you use remove function instead of discard function, so you're going to replace discard with remove and run this, the Python is going to give you an error. So this is the difference between discard and remove. If an element doesn't exist in the set, discard is not going to give you an error, but remove function is going to give you an error. Now the next topic is we will do some set operations. The first one is the difference between two sets, A difference B. So we have the first set here, my set, which consists of letters and numbers. And the second set, let's run this one too. It has 1, 2, A and B. If I want to see the difference between first set and second set, we will use my_set.difference function here, as you see. And in the parentheses, we will write the second set. And if you run this code, you will find out the different elements in set 1, which in this case, all the elements other than 1, 2, and A and B. And therefore, we have here 4. 4 is not in set 2. C is not in set 2. D, E, and O. So usually the difference function does not update the values, and if you want to update the values, actually while making a difference, you can use difference_update function. So let's run this one, and now we run this. As you see, my first set only includes elements which are different from the second set. So therefore you can use difference_update to update the elements in my set 2. So here is another operation which is famous, intersection of two sets. You have two sets, set 1 and set 2, and you want to find the elements that are common or overlapping in both the sets. So when you look at these two sets, you will find out that the common elements are 1, 2, A and B. So let's see, let's run this set and this one too. And here, let's use my_set. This is our first set dot intersection second set. And when you run this, you will find out that the intersection is 1, 2, A, and B. So you can also use intersection_update to update my set with the elements that are common in both sets. And also there are other operations in set theory, like whether two sets are disjoint, whether one set is a subset of another, whether one set is a superset, or to find out the union of these two sets. All of these operations you can do using the set data structure in Python. So I'm just running through these sections. If you want, you can go through them in more detail, and you can even create your own examples, create your own sets and practice them. Finally, I want to go over the union of two sets. So if you have two sets, A and B, you just want to combine all the elements from both sets, and then you get a union. And here in this case, we want to union sample set 1 and sample set 3. And you can just use the .union function to combine all elements. And the next one is update. So suppose initially you had this sample set 1 here, and this is your sample set 1, and you want to add new values, and these are the new values, C, D, E, R, and Z. And you can use the update function. When you run the sample set 1, you'll see that the new elements are already included in the set. When there are duplicate values, the set is not going to take it. So in this case, if sample set 1 has A, B, C, D, E, F, and C, D, E are common, so therefore you're not going to have duplicate elements in the set. The last thing I will cover is the iteration. Now, just like list and tuples, you can also use for loop to iterate over sets. So basically, you use the same syntax for the for loop. At every repetition, one value of the set is being stored in this element. And that's what we are printing here. So this was sets in code, and let's go to the next video where we will learn about another interesting data structure in Python known as dictionaries. Thank you for watching this.